We are at a destination Dollar Tree. So I'm in Tahoe and I'm gonna head into Dollar Tree because I gotta stock up on a few things. But when I came here last time, there's a few really interesting, like kind of secret keto finds that I had discovered there that you wouldn't have expected to see there. So I'm gonna hop in there and I'm gonna show you exactly what to look for in these secret keto finds that are at Dollar Tree. Let's check it out. Okay, this first one, aloe juice. Totally keto friendly. Aloe juice is something that's super good for the gut. It is sort of what's called like a hydrophilic colloid. So it draws water in a little bit to the colon, but also just into the digestive tract. So kind of soothes the gut. If you've ever put aloe on sunburn, kind of has a similar effect within the gut. So the ketogenic diet can be a little bit acidic in terms of the food. So sometimes sipping on some aloe can actually be really good. So $1 at Dollar Tree, and check out the ingredients. Okay, so check it out. Okay, it's 0 grams of carbs, 2 servings. Okay, we have ingredients, we have water, aloe vera juice. Now it definitely has some preservatives in there, but not the worst ones. Like sodium erythorbate, you're usually gonna find that in bacon and stuff like that. It's not the worst. It's not like a sodium benzoate. If I saw sodium benzoate in here, I would say run the other direction. Now, a couple of things that I do want you to be aware of. This is the Dollar Tree, so we're not gonna find perfect stuff. We do have acesulfame potassium, and we do have sucralose in there, which are artificial sweeteners, which can spike your insulin a little bit. Are they going to kick you out of keto? Not necessarily, but they are not the best thing. Okay, I just wanted to showcase this because it is a step in the right direction. This is one of the things that I thought was super cool. This, for $1, is one of the best tea blends that you could have on keto or when you're fasting. Now it calls it an immunity boost. It looks like this. I'll flip the camera around and show you. I wouldn't even really use it necessarily for immunity. It's one of the best things you could have if you were intermittent fasting or doing keto, and here's why. Okay, so check out this ingredients. That's what it looks like. Obviously it's $1. Coriander, ginger, cinnamon, clove, and green tea. Small amount of caffeine from the green tea, but then we also get the ginger that's getting us that what's called a 6-Shogal, which is very powerful and has demonstrated to really be powerful when it comes down to fat adaptation. But cinnamon, which can modulate your cortisol levels, clove, which is just great overall as an analgesic. So it's really just good stuff. So I'm gonna grab some of that. That's like a perfect thing to sip on if I'm intermittent fasting or just during the day in between meals. Like that's a really cool find. It's kind of a secret here. Okay, I just found something that I haven't seen before. Let's see what it's about. Okay, now, granted, I'm at altitude, so these things are gonna be puffy, but all natural toasted coconut chips. These could be keto. Let's find out. Ah, darn it. Unfortunately, these are coconut meat, cane sugar, and salt. If they didn't have the cane sugar, these would have been totally good to go. Dang it, kind of a bummer. But I mean, again, a step in the right direction. Like we're actually having these things in a sea of stuff that really is not good. We have one thing that is halfway decent, right? So next step, get it without the sugar, right? Now here's what I'm talking about. I'm a big seaweed fan, right? I love my seaweed because I'm a big fan of getting the iodine from it, getting the trace minerals from it, but also just good old-fashioned seaweed is a very good fiber when it comes down to beta-glucans. Beta-glucans are a specific kind of fiber. Now, there are 250,000 glucose molecules that are bound together with a specific kind of bond. Now, we lack the enzyme to break down that bond. So when we lack that enzyme, what happens is our gut has to break it down, and it becomes a fermentable food for our gut, helping out our microbiome. So in this, seaweed, sunflower oil, and sea salt. Sunflower oil is not the best, but better than canola oil. So heck yes, and you get 3 of them. That's actually not just a value, but a super value for something that is one of the best keto foods in my book. So heck yes, I am so getting that. I will say, if you're on a budget, you may want to check out Thrive Market for just some good old-fashioned keto stuff. So they're an online membership-based grocery store, so they'll deliver everything right to your doorstep, but you can sort by diet. So if you're looking for keto stuff, you log into Thrive Market, you sort by diet type, and you sort by keto, and then you can categorize by snacks, by baked goods, whatever, all that's keto-friendly. And then it gets delivered right to your doorstep. And a lot of times it's more economical than most grocery stores. It might not be more economical than the Dollar Tree, but you're gonna get your hands on a lot more unique foods that are gonna make keto a lot just more sustainable for you. So I put a link down below. If you use that link, you'll save 25% off your first order. And you'll also get a free gift. Okay, so 25% off your first order with Thrive Market plus a free gift. So check them out. Use that link down below. And a big thank you to Thrive Market. Continued support on this channel for like the last 4 years because it's super relevant. Everything I talk about, it just makes sense. If I'm at the grocery store, yeah, check out Thrive because you can a lot of times get even better deals. So again, big thank you. Check them out down below and save 25% off your first order. Okay, now we're in the refrigerated and the frozen section, and I know there's some goodies here. Let me show you around. I wish Butterfinger ice cream was good for keto. Fortunately, it's not, but man, that looks good. Okay, wow, it's amazing. Like, lobster egg roll. That seems interesting. Not keto friendly there. Oh, here we go. Check this out. Take it for what it's worth, okay? It's the Dollar Tree. We can't expect everything to be perfect, but we've got cod fillets for $1. Okay, now they have tilapia there too, so we can choose between cod or tilapia. Definitely go for the cod. Cod is usually not heavily farm raised. It's usually pretty easy to get. Let me see. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll flip it around. See, so here it says, caught in the chilly waters of the cold Pacific, our cod is responsibly sourced, meeting the highest sustainability. So it's actually, it could be wild caught. It's hard to tell though, because they can use a play on words there. Yeah, it does say wild caught, but it is a product of China, which we have to be careful of, because sometimes it doesn't matter that it's China. It could be anywhere. It's just, if it's not wild caught in Alaska, where cod usually is, a lot of times like they'll catch hatchlings and they'll just farm them differently. You just have to be careful. But again, it's Dollar Tree, guys. This is a good deal. Cod fillets, water, sodium triphosphate, which is not that bad. Okay, again, not sodium benzoate, not potassium phosphate, not this other stuff that can be harmful to the gut microbiome. So definitely getting that. Just so you know, out of all the different like cheeses and stuff that are here, be very careful. I just want to show you something. This can be a little bit deceiving. So like Mexican blend shreds. Let me flip this around and show you. It's a pasteurized processed topping. So it's not full on cheese. See, it's water, food starch, palm oil, and then it's got some components of cheese. So be very careful. You look like you're getting a big value, but you're not actually getting cheese. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that. It looks like the only real cheese here, we've got this Lakeview cheddar, or excuse me, Lakeview cheddar there and Lakeview pepper jack here, which is decent. But your best bang for the buck is actually going to be the cream cheese. $1 for a cream cheese spread. This is interesting. Yeah, at least they're using palm oil, not necessarily sustainable palm oil, but it could be worse. It's not pure cheese though, so maybe it's not as good as it used to be. What about this one? Still kind of the same thing. Okay, so I take that back. That is incorrect. The only cheese that you'd actually want to go for is going to be the Lakeview pepper jack or the cheddar. Kind of funny, they have another seaweed snack here, but this one's $1 and it's organic, but similar ingredients. It's just you're getting, the other one's not organic, this one's organic, but you're only getting one. So value-wise, I'm going to get one just because I'm going to support the fact that that's still kind of a hidden gem that you're going to find, but it's not as good of a value as the others. Oh, this is cool. If you're on a super budget, they've definitely expanded some of their canned fish and things like that. This is cool. Okay, so now, ooh, this is interesting. They have, I'll show you in 1 second. They have mackerel and tomato sauce, which they didn't have before. So look at mackerel, which is the best keto fish that you could have. It's maybe not always the tastiest, but okay. Ooh, this one's got sugar in it though. 3 grams of sugar. That one might not be the best, but here's mackerel and brine. But I do think that a little bit of sugar is going to be okay, considering you're getting such a good fatty acid profile. Look at that, 8 grams of fat, only 3.5 of which is saturated fat, 1.5 grams of good quality polyunsaturated fats. Mackerel are like the best keto fish ever. But look at, they've changed what they've gotten here. Now we have sardines. I wouldn't normally get the sardines in vegetable oil. Now, let me show you why. In this case, they're going to be, let's see, where are they? Sardines, you know what? That's a heck of a lot better. I'm not gonna lie. Normally you see sardines in soybean oil. I'm pretty stoked to see it in sunflower oil, which is not great, but better than peanut oil, better than canola oil, better than soybean oil. So heck yes, that is a much better choice. But we also have sardines in mustard sauce. In this case, let me show you the ingredients. Here we have sardines, mustard sauce, water, mustard grains, a little bit of sunflower oil, but not much. Xanthan gum, potassium, ooh, metabosulfite. We never want sulfites. Ooh, that's bad. And sugar. So if we had to choose between the sulfites that are in the mustard sauce or the vegetable oil, I'd say the sunflower oil, okay? Because the sulfites are not good. I'm glad I looked. But then we have probably the simplest one, sardines in water. Now, are these bone in? Wild caught, hand packed. I don't see if it's full. And this is as good as it gets. Sardines and water. I mean, that's as good as it gets. If you're looking for the best omega-3 ratio on keto, sardines are it. Now, because they're easy to catch, because they're sustainable, they're usually not heavily farmed, they're usually going to be fully like non-adulterated. So you're getting the best omega. So there's no denying that you can do keto and still be on a budget and get the best fatty acid profile. May not be the tastiest thing, but you put a little bit of regular mustard on that, it's delicious. Okay, now, I'm a big oyster fan. I like oysters because of the zinc quality. Zinc, super good for helping out men especially. Why? Because zinc is going to improve the affinity of the androgen receptors for testosterone, which means that testosterone is going to be able to bind to an androgen receptor, giving you better male pattern characteristics. Now, it's good for women too for other reasons, especially for PCOS and other, stuff like that. It's a different category, right? So these are oysters, but they're in oil. Let's find out what kind of oil. Ooh, yeah, these ones are cottonseed. So I could get these and give them a bath, just rinse them out. Okay, that would be fine. I'm not going to get them because, again, that's not worth having in my house. I've got good oysters at the house. Good oysters. That's a hard thing to say. This is kind of interesting. We have this stuff called tuno, plant-based tuna. That's really weird. Like, why would you want plant-based fish? That just scares me a little bit. Now, this one may sound funny, but in the world of trying to do health on a budget, like if you're not going to the regular grocery store and getting, like, you know, traditional produce, this is funny, but canned mushrooms or jarred mushrooms are really good. Again, those beta-glucans. So the best bang for the buck in terms of like microbiome shifts, how you can help your microbiome, probably coming from beta-glucans, like really. And mushrooms, okay, anything that's kind of slimy. Okay, so for example, mushrooms are slimy, right? Seaweed is kind of slimy. Oatmeal is kind of slimy. All those beta-glucans, because those are those starch molecules, those glucose molecules that are bound together, and they sort of form almost like a film, and then our gut has to break it down. So yes, I know this might be a little bit gross, but it's actually not bad. So if you were to say take some of this and put it with some sardines, it sounds like something my dad would have made, you know, that I would have been grossed out at. But now doing what I do, if I was on a budget and I like really had to scrape pennies, then I really think that this could be good. This would be a great way for me to get my fiber in without having to like choke down frozen greens all the time. So let's look at the ingredient. Mushroom, water, salt, citric acid, and ascorbic acid. That's really not bad. Ascorbic acid is fine. It's just an antioxidant that's making it so it doesn't go rancid. So pieces and stems, but again, mix it up, all good. And here's a secret find that you have to get like really close to the floor to find. I mean, seriously, it's always hidden. You got apple cider vinegar. And it's not like crappy diluted stuff. It's actually good stuff. Look at this. Ingredients: pure apple cider vinegar. It contains naturally occurring sulfites, because apple cider vinegar is going to have sulfites. You just don't want added sulfites. So I'm pretty stoked to see that, right? That's awesome. And that's a big jug of it. So again, like if you're on a budget, like apple cider vinegar, one of the best things that you can have to start your day on keto, elevates those AMPK levels, basically making your body think that you're deeper in a deficit than you are when it goes into the cell and basically has to convert into acetyl coenzyme A, sending like a false signal. I shouldn't say a false signal, but it's basically telling the body that you are deeper into a deficit than you are. So heck yeah, getting that. Remember, don't forget to check the end caps. Like in this case, I just found some keto pork rinds that are on the end cap, and I never would have seen them. Okay, you always have to check those keto end caps. Okay, what do we have here? Pork rinds and salt. Perfect. I am absolutely getting those. That is perfectly good for keto, and it's a simple, easy secret find. Now here's something that's kind of keto friendly, but I also want to caution you. Okay, it's these Russell Stover sugar-free ones. Now I just want you to be aware. Let me show you the ingredients. Okay, we have dark chocolate, maltitol, and chocolate. Is it going to be keto friendly? Yes. Okay, you're going to have 3 grams of fiber. So 23 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fiber. That puts you at 20 carbs, minus sugar alcohols. So you're only at 2 grams of net carbs per 3 pieces. Sounds amazing, right? Except for the fact that maltitol is a sugar alcohol, and it's going to really trigger some pretty aggressive gut distress. However, I am very happy to see that they are using stevia, and they are not using acesulfame potassium, they're not using aspartame, and they're not using sucralose. So I'll take a little bit of maltitol. I'll take a little bit of being seatbelted to the toilet in an effort to be able to have a sugar-free candy from the Dollar Tree. I'm not gonna get them because they taste good, and I don't feel like being seatbelted to the toilet. But again, good on Russell Stover for getting rid of the artificial sweeteners and going with the stevia instead. That is it for my secret finds, but let's see how much money we spent on getting some really good keto goodness. Now that was an $8 win. That is freaking unreal. Okay, $8, and I just got some stuff that would, quite honestly, feed me for a couple of days if I really wanted to pace myself. Because remember, with keto, the foods are calorically dense. So you're actually eating a fair bit of food, even though the volume of food doesn't look like much. You're actually consuming a fair bit of calories and getting yourself through the day. It can also be a little bit of a problem when people are doing keto because the volume of food is so much less, yet the caloric density is there. So just beware and still count your calories because it can add up really quick. But those are some awesome secret finds at Dollar Tree, and I will see you tomorrow.